Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Easy, Eagle, Ease, the Mad Shadow, the Goat Shaco, Genius, whatever you guys want to call him. And yeah, guys, we're back with a new installment, the next installment of the Shaco guide. So I know that you guys have been waiting for this for quite a while now. I said that in the beginner's guide I was going to do all these in like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, but I am just kind of spent at the moment. You guys can probably tell, like I just feel fatigued by just working pretty hard at doing this YouTube thing and streaming thing. You know, I'm up late, and you know, the next day if I'm not doing anything else, I'll be cutting clips, you know, making videos and uploading on the daily. So it's taking quite a lot out of me. But we're here doing this guide because it needs to get done. The brothers need to know how to play Shaco. All right. Now, if you guys haven't already, I'd highly suggest going and watch the beginner's guide if you guys haven't played Shaco though. But for those of you who have watched that video and you're ready to go, you're ready to become the GOAT, become like me and play this champion at a high level, then you've come to the right place, obviously. And without further ado, I think we should get right into it. Okay, so I've got a little notepad here. Right. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to go for, but we're going to go. Now, that's only 4 points that I've got there, and I'm probably going to have to go through about 20 for this whole video. But we'll see how many parts or, you know, episodes we'll have to do for this master guide. Okay? So, the first thing you want to kind of choose before you play Shaco at a high level, you have to choose whether you're going to build him assassin, whether you're going to go bruiser. Okay? Now, this guide, I can do a bruiser one if you guys want. Okay? You guys want to see me do a bruiser one, which is how I used to build Shaco, okay, earlier in the season and before this patch, then let me fucking know in the comments, okay, because I will do one for bruiser Shaco, which, you know, requires different masteries, a bit of a different setup, different kind of, you know, concept and ideas around and builds and all that. It's different than assassin Shaco, okay, so if you guys want, a guide on the bruiser build and how to play that effectively, then let me know in the comments, okay? Because I will do one. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on Assassin Shaco because that's what I've been playing recently, and I have been just fucking loving it. Like, actually just loving it. Like, before Season 7, like Season 6, I think like late Season 6 when I used to play quite a bit, that's when I fell in love with Shaco. Like, that assassin build when you go shiv, just crit Shaco, you used to blow people up. That's how we kind of made a name for ourselves in the old flex queue, taking down challenges with that Shaco build. And this build, it's exactly the same, pretty much. Exactly the same without Dustblade, because lethality got nerfed. But, oh mate, like it just feels so good to play an Assassin Shaco again and to do well with it like it's 40 hours. Because Shaco in this meta isn't the best, but to play him well, and master him, so to speak, which is what this guide is about, it's very rewarding. Okay? So yeah, you guys have to choose assassin or bruiser. We're going to go assassin with this guide. Okay. Now, what does assassin mean? Okay, you guys have to think, right, that if you're going to play assassin Shaco, crit Shaco, a lot of DPS, damage per second, you have a lot. Like, blow people up in literally in a second if you get fit. You have to play like that. Yeah, you're not an AOE champ. Okay. Just a single target focus fucking champ needs to go in on carries and try to blow them up. That's fun about Shaco. Now, there are going to be times when you're behind, and we'll talk about that, but that's how you have to play Shaco. So that's how we're going to play him, and this is why these runes, masteries, and everything else builds are set up specifically for that. Okay? So let's get into the runes, first of all, and hopefully an image will come up on your screen. Now, for those of you who haven't seen that Korean Shaco guide, first of all, shout out to you, bro. Okay, you're probably a fucking lad who's watching this anyway. Shout out to that Korean Shaco. This is his rune page for Assassin Shaco. Now, there are 2 rune pages I want you guys to have for Shaco. Okay, there's this one. Now, mine are called Korean Shaco and OCE Shaco. The OCE one being the shittest one. This is the Korean Shaco one. So you guys will probably notice it. And the cooldowns are a bit weird, but it's pretty standard all the way down until you hit right at the bottom. The plus 2% experience, mate. Okay, that's the killer for the other team right there. So this build is oriented around your first 2 to 3 levels. Right? If you do nothing with this, that rune is just wasted. Okay? You have to use this rune page, okay, early in the first 2 to 3 levels of the game. Okay, that's when it works. Otherwise, there's just no point having that experience rune. So, and I'll show you a jungle clear as well later, which we'll get into, and I'll relate back to this as well. But this clear, okay, early on is invade, get their buff, hit level 3 and get out. So we run that experience Quint, so we hit level 3 off their buff, okay, and I'll show you guys how to do it later. I'll show you some examples actually from streams, and hopefully I'll do a lot of that throughout this video and series to help illustrate, elucidate my point. But this is about invading and being aggressive as fuck early, okay? Now what we want to think about, okay, before we even look at these type of, how to invade and our jungle pass, etc. I want to think about the jungle match. And let me get my fucking notepad. Okay, so I've put here, so this is before your runes and masteries, okay? You have to be thinking about the early game, and maybe even mid game as well. Concentrate on early game for this video. So in champ select, alright, you want to think about which jungler you're versing, yeah? So can you invade this jungler? Can you beat them in a 1v1? What buff are they going to start? That will probably determine where you start and if you invade or not. If you choose to invade and you think that you've got, you can put a good read on them, okay, where you can anticipate where they're going to go, what their path is going to be, and you think you can pull this off, then run this page and the mastery page that I'll show you, okay? But if you can't, if you're not really aware, like they might start red, they might start blue, he's pretty strong early, like a Basin maybe, or if he's a good lead, okay? Because people will become more and more aware of this, and you guys have to be careful. But in lower elo, this will be sick to do, okay? So you might think like a farm-heavy jungler early, like Graves, for example. Pretty easy to invade, right? Pretty easy to get his buff nice and early. But in higher elos, they might think, oh, well, this Shaco is probably going to invade me at my red, just board it or something like that. You guys have to be very, very aware when you try and pull this cheese off, because sometimes it can backfire and you'll get fucked because of it. But this video, that's what I want you guys thinking about. Okay? Before, like, in champ select, you think, who am I versing? Okay, I'm versing a on blue side. Can I pull this off? Is it worth it? Should I gank another lane? Like, is bot lane gonna, is their bot lane gonna shove in? Can I gank bot instead? Maybe we get a double kill. That's what you guys have to be thinking about, yeah? Even in champ select, okay? So this isn't me just gonna say, okay, what you do, guys, okay? All you have to fucking do, right, is just get a static shiv and an eye, and you just fucking go in, mate. You just blow everyone up. It's not like that. You gotta prepare, like, I said on stream, like, it's the 10 seconds before you go in that's more important. Even here, like, even before the game starts, this is important, like, getting your fucking mental and getting, like, how you're gonna, start the early game the first 5 minutes, and then the first 5 minutes of the game, like, Shaco will set you up, like, for the most part, in most games. Maybe, like, it's a really slow game, and 10 minutes and there's no kills, but most of the time, the first 5 minutes matters a lot on Shaco. So make sure you guys know what you're going to do. Develop a strategy, a plan of attack. Are you going to invade? Are you going to gank bot lane first after doing 2 buffs? Can you 1v1 the other jungler? If you go into the jungle, a chon happens, you're going to be able to 1v1 him. Okay? You have to be thinking about these things all the time. Right? And that's what I want you guys to consider when choosing this rune page or the next one, which is very, very standard. Yeah? Very standard. So, we run attack speed, AD, and that's legit pretty much the only difference. So we want a cooldown still, because we want to put as many boxes down as possible and clear quicker. That's pretty much the only change, guys. But if you guys are thinking, I'm not going to pull off the cheese invade here, I'm just going to farm, I'm just going to go, like, say we're blue side and we go blue to red. I want to invade, I want to gank bot lane first. That's what I want to do. So you're going to hit 3 off red, and then you're going to go and gank bot, and maybe you get a double or something like that. Or maybe you just hard farm it early, secure this team at mid-game, which is what I talked about at the beginning, guide. Maybe that's something you do instead. Yeah, but there are lots of options you guys have to choose from, but it's how you kind of plan ahead, okay? It's how you kind of strategize for that early game that will determine what rune page you go, okay? And how you, like, your jungle path early as well, okay? But I'll show you some examples here of some of my invades early, what paid off and what didn't, and why I decided to do. Okay? For this second rune page as well, guys, what you can actually do, so thinking about the matchup again, if you're versing like an AP jungler, what you can actually do is run 5 health per level Steals, yellows. Okay, that's what you can do. So 5 health per level, and then just 4 armor, because you always want armor, because you gank a lane, take auto attacks from champs, creeps, or whatever. It always helps. Or you can run magic resist, like 9 times 9 of the blues. Magic resist blues, just flat MR. And why that's important is because most mids are AP, okay? And most supports are also AP. So when you go and gank bot, you're not going to take damage that much from, say, like a Calm or a Zyra support, or if you gank mid, you know, they have an Oriana, and at least you're not going to, you'll just get blown up if you get caught by a Cocoon or something like that. So that's another strategy you guys can run. It's all about how confident you feel in Shaco, and how you kind of plan ahead. Like, do you trust yourself to dodge that Cocoon? Do you trust yourself to put a box in front of the Cocooning if you can manage that? That's what you guys have got to be thinking about. Okay. So if you are versing like a double AP, at least a double AP comp, I'd definitely recommend running the MR Blues unless you're going to invade early. Okay? So it's either, so when you go Assassin Shaco, you either invade early with the XP runes, yeah? Okay, or you just hard farm, right? Or maybe you gank top level 2, something like that. You guys just have to devise a strategy early on. Okay? So there's no real like set rules. This is what you got to do. This, and this. If you are going to invade there are a few obviously. If you don't, you've got many options. Gank top or mid level 2 maybe. Go bot lane after you're red. You can hard farm to secure team at, maybe invade after that. There are like lots of possibilities on Shaco and how you can influence. But does the lane you want to gank have CC, for example, like ganking for a Fresh is really good, yeah? He has CC. Ganking for a Vladimir on the other hand is pretty bad because he pretty much has no CC, yeah? Ganking for a Riven though is good. You guys get what I'm saying, yeah? So you have to be thinking about these things all the time, and that will determine how you play this out. Huh? And what runes you go, of course. Now, the masteries, okay? So we're going to go attack speed. Okay, we don't really need the sorcery because, well, we just don't, really. Like attack speed, because we have no attack speed in our runes, having that attack speed from Fury is really beneficial. Okay, and it kind of makes up for our lack of attack speed in runes. But we have so much AD from our runes that we don't really, like, this kind of compensates for a lack of attack speed in Fury. Masteries, that's why we have that. Fresh Blood is pretty obvious, natural talent of course, and double-edged sword pretty obvious as well, because we're not really going to be in like that many extended fights with only one champion. We don't need battle chance, and double-edged sword in my opinion is just better than bounty hunter. Okay, you're an assassin. One of the main reasons we run that. Now in cunning, no, this is completely up to you guys as well. If you feel your clear is up to scratch, and we'll show you how to clear, I'll show you guys how to clear early on and how easy it is. But plus 3% movement speed out of combat is really helpful. It helps us get around the map, and if you run mobility boots for this, it's even better obviously. Like it just enhances this mastery. But if you don't, it also kind of like compensates for your lack of movement speed that you would have had through. That makes sense. There you go, Ninja Devise. You still have a bit more movement speed because, which is why in most of my builds, which I'll show you soon, I go Ninja Devise or Mercs. Now I rarely go ability boost. I think it helps a ton. Right? Assassin, of course. So most people will probably go Runic Affinity to get to have red buff and blue buff longer. This Assassin thing is just so helpful. Hence Assassin Shaco. I don't think I need to really go into depth with me. Now this one's interesting. Okay, so I saw the Korean Shaco guy go this, and the guy who was commentating on the video said that he runs meditation 5 points because he gives blue buff to his mid laner because of Korea, of course. I just run this because, first of all, like, I don't know how beneficial this is. You know what I mean? Like, we have Ignite. Like, when they're low anyway, they're probably going to die to us. You know, going Assassin Shaco, I don't think we need this extra damage. Okay. If you guys feel like you're going to take every blue buff that game, or you don't really need any mana regen, then by all means go this. I just take this just in case we get cheesed or something like that. Gives me a bit of compensation again. Got me through the early game. Alright. Green Fight 70 with Brush, obviously, you know, pretty self-explanatory. This one again, and Thunderlords because we've got the maximum and a DPS. Okay, so that's why I want you guys going. Okay, now you can change it a little bit, depending on your tastes, preferences, whatever. But once again, I'm giving you my opinion. I can't stress that enough. You guys may have a godlike plan, you know, that you guys already have that works for you every single. Stick to it. This is just my opinion. You guys have clicked on my video, funnily enough, and I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm not going to give you this you know, this dogma, right? This is what you have to abide by when you play Shaco, and that's it, okay? This is just my opinion, right? But yeah, change it however you guys want. If you guys want to, you know, put your opinions in the comments, or let me know. It'll be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts. This is just my opinion and how we succeed on the Shac. Now we've done the runes and mastery, so now we're going to show you, okay, the early clear with the runes I showed you earlier. Hey guys, what's going on? So we're back. Right, so we're back, fam. So I've just actually done the first, like, 15 minutes of that video in Vegas, and I realised that this mic, which is attached to the webcam, is so fucking bad, dude. Like, I'm just kind of breaking up, so I'll try and project my voice a bit more. I don't really want to do it all again, and it's not too bad. It shouldn't be too detrimental to the pleasure of viewers, but yeah, let's try and project our voice a bit more. I don't want my dad coming in. That's probably why, actually. I have no door. So, we've got no fucking door, mate. Just a hole. Just got a hole in the wall. And no, I was not put through it. Okay. So, this is going to be the early clear, okay? So I'm going to play this video that I've got. Alright? And I'm going to talk you guys through what I was thinking at the time. So this is with the experience rune. Okay, that Rune Page, okay? But this is for invading. Right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to put 2 boxes here. You're actually going to put 3 at wall, so you can see the first one, second one, it's on either side. We're going to take the 2 small walls here, but we're not even going to do the actual B here at the wall. We're going to let the boxes take care of the small walls, which will give us enough experience for later. That when we take their red buff, we actually hit level 3. Because if you don't take this experience rune and do this, you'll still be level 2. Okay, so that's the point of this rune page. You have to be aggressive early and invade, and play around that rune page and the setup that you've got going. Okay. So again, here, this is why you run the cooldown runes. Now, this game we actually don't have enough bloody IP, believe it or not, to buy enough cooldown runes for this. But if you have another cooldown rune, you just get the box quicker, and it just helps doing this blue buff even faster, which you can tell takes a bit of time, even with a leash from the top laner. Also, that's another thing you can do, ask the top laner to leash you. Sometimes they won't, which isn't a big deal, but yeah, it's always handy. Get the backstab, Q over the wall, and go straight to the red buff. Okay? Now, you guys have to be aware that some junglers, like Lee Sins, will come straight to their red buff if they're held conscious. Why? I'm not particularly sure, because normally if they're going to do a 2 buff clear, they'll do walls in between, so they do the same thing, so they'll hit level 3 after their red buff. Because if he comes now, and he takes his red buff, he's only going to be level 2, so which kind of befuddles me. But some people will do it, okay, especially in lower elo as well. So you guys who are in like gold and stuff, I think it will happen a lot. In higher elo, probably not, but just in case, alright, just a heads up. So as you guys can see, we hit level 3, and I wanted to show you guys the next 2 minutes of this early game and see how much pressure we create just off being level 3. So here we ping this Oriana that we're coming in. Now we didn't have our box, so maybe that was kind of our bad for going in, but we blow our flash. He does kill the Ori. I think Ori misplayed it. Ori had flash as well. So not the best play by the Ori, but I probably should have pinged a bit later. If anything, I could have done. That's probably the only thing I could have done differently there. But in a perfect world, an ideal world, that would have been a perfect game to start the game off. Okay, so we just shove this out. Okay, so we've already blown the mid laner's flash. Ori shouldn't have died. She should have flashed the Anivia Q and we'd be fine, and we'd probably have killed her there. Anyway, so here I don't even really power farm that much. Okay, so early on in the beginner guide, I told you guys all you want to do is, you know, just farm early, secure the tier map mid game or whatever else. Because we have this mastery setup and the setup, we be fucking aggressive. Okay, we have ignite as well. We know we can 1v1 Kha'Zix early. Kha'Zix is pretty weak early on. Yeah? Shaco actually beats him early. Okay. You guys have to play like it, okay? Play according to how strong you are. So we get 3 buffs here, okay? That's another thing that this rune page is geared towards, getting those 3 buffs. So we see this Fiddlesticks come up and ward here, which is quite good. The support doesn't really pressure him, which is kind of bad. But anyway, we're looking to gank bot here. Okay? And what we do in the next minute and a half or minute or so, however long this clip lasts for, is just a nice kind of early game with Shaco. It just makes our presence kind of known early game, which is what we want. Blow 2 flashes already. I think Ash pop heal as well. I wasn't actually ready, but we blow 2 flashes. Okay. Now, if you have a champion like this or Rek'Sai who can go over wall easily early game, you guys want to think about doing this, which is what I do after Scuttle Crab. When they have their flashes, so normally what you do, especially in higher lanes, you'll gank a lane to blow a summoner, then you'll re-gank the lane to kill them. Okay, which is exactly what we do here, because high elo players are smart enough to kind of like predict where you're pathing. So if they do that, they'll have to blow flash, you know, at the most to get away from your gank. But once they've done that, you should re-gank the lane like we do. We don't even get an assist, right? But it's just our pressure and yeah, just forcing the enemy into flash and whatever else, influence the game early. What you want to do with this rune setup, okay? Now, if you do it from the other side, okay, and I'm actually going to show you a clip from that guy's stream or that guy's video here. Of the guy who does it from the race side. I actually haven't done this side because I'm much more comfortable farming on blue side or maybe ganking bot early than doing this because I honestly don't like doing it on that side. I just don't like it because we don't have a blue buff to do it with, and if you get caught without a blue buff, you can get fucked. Okay, but we'll show you it anyway. So give me 1 second and I'll be back. Alright then guys, so let's watch this Korean guy. Now this is fast forward of course, so I'll actually pause the video at the start here. But this guy's clear here. Okay, so you guys can see how he has the 4 boxes set up kind of in like a semicircle type thing around race. That's so the small chickens, I'd say race, the small chickens die. Okay, and he can just focus on the big one. He's going to put another box down as well during this clear just to help him as well. Now this does take a little bit longer than doing the blue buff on the other side. But this will give you level 2 as well, and he doesn't even do his red buff. So he'll do race or chickens, and he'll go straight to the enemy's blue buff and do that. Now the reason I don't like this, as you guys will see here, as I just play it out, you run out of mana so quickly, okay? Which is probably why he runs the mana thing as well, but the meditation in his masteries. But look how like out of mana he is. Now Q costs quite a lot of mana, I think it's 60 or 70 level 1, and as you guys can see, like he's almost oom now. So if it doesn't pay off, something like this, okay, and you think they're aware of it, or even that blue buff ward, you can be in real trouble, okay? So that, as I was saying before, like, you know, can you 1v1 the other jungler? You know, where's he going to start? Is he going to, you know, what is blue buff? Is it risky going in? Do they have a top laner who can, you know, come down and kill me doing their blue buff? You guys have to think about these things, okay? But this is exactly what I talked about. Like, from this side, this is a perfect example from what I did previous clip. Putting pressure on the map early, securing your buffs, 3-buffing it, okay, and then just playing aggressive off your lead in the JG and XP lead on the other jungle. You see here, he'll do his red, he'll do chickens, and he'll go straight into the other jungle again. Because he knows the blue timer, he knows when they're all up, and as you can see, this guy slows it down here for some reason. Okay, so he's going to queue over thinking that may be warded. And then he just invades. And because he's got an XP lead from his buffs, okay, again, like he's just being aggressive as he can early because that's what his runes are designed to do. Okay, and he sees Zach come in here and he gets the kill. Nice coordination with the mid laner. Maybe that's me and Nick, mid lane genius, and your boy Easy. But Nick would have died then probably. But you guys can see, like, this is just a typical example from red side, and the previous clip of me was just a typical example from blue side of just exerting pressure early on in the game. Okay, just being influential as you can early game with this master setup, and the build will go as well. We'll get into that quickly, and that will probably be it for part 1, fam. I'll probably upload it because I do want to stream for a bit. So what I'm going to do, obviously I'm not streaming, but I will end this video here, and I'll upload the build when I go, and explain a little bit about the build. I'll stop my commentating here and clip of me, and then I will start the stream. I'll upload the video and then start the stream probably. Okay, we'll do something like that. Right. So now you'll see a new me, and we'll talk about the build. Right, guys, what's going on? So I've gone into my match history here, and you guys are going to see the Go match history. Okay, and we're going to show you guys our builds. Right, so we'll go all the way down. Have a think here. So we'll go down to these ones here. Okay, you guys can see similarities in here. They're consistent for time. Okay, so this is what I want you guys building. So I know in the beginner guide, Bruiser, Shaco, there was a certain build. This is Assassin. Okay? The Assassin Shaco we want to go, so we have to build like one. Right, so this is also called Crit Shaco, the Crit Shaco build. And this is what you guys are going to build, okay? So your first item is going to be a Tiamat, alright, like it normally was with the Bruiser Shaco. Then you want to build your boots. You can either finish boots depending on like how much gold you have, okay? That's up to you guys, but obviously we want to upgrade our boots or just get boots, the standard one early. Then we want to build our warrior, okay, Red Smite. Red Smite is OP at the moment because we're a 1v1 champ, you know, we have that assassin mastery. We want to 1v1 people as much as we can, yeah? When we do, we want to give ourselves the best opportunity of 1v1ing them, which is why we have the Red Smite, and, you know, complement that with, compound that with, synchronize that with, sorry, the Assassin Mastery. You're going to do a lot of damage to, okay, which is what we're designed for. This is what Shaco is designed, Assassin Shaco building. Then after that, we want to go static shift. Okay, it just helps with our clear and obviously gives us crit, which is awesome for when we go up behind someone and just knock him out. And then we want to go IE after that. Now, there can be a few, nuances in builds. Okay, if you're versing a double AP comp and you feel they're strong and you're gonna, even if you dodge everything, you can still die hell quick. Get a Hex Drink in between Tiamat and the Red Smite and the Shiv. So you finish your Tiamat, Red Smite, maybe even Boots. Go a Hex Drinker off, okay, because that will help immensely. Especially in higher reload games, you guys are going to have to build for stuff like that because people aren't dumb and people will start to understand how you play a bit more, okay? So you have to you have to accept the fact that you're going to cop damage, okay? But we don't want to get blown up before they get blown up, yeah? We want a bit of sustain there, and what I like to do as well, so after that we'll go IE, after the shift. Now for your last item, okay, before you finish Hydra. You never want to finish Hydra first, by the way. Spend that gold on better things. Now, for the last item, you can go a myriad of things. You can go Deadman's, you can go GA, you can go more. I'm thinking if there's any more. I don't really think anything else is as viable as those 3 items. So, obviously, the more, you can finish that off your Hex Drinker if you get that, as I said, in between the Red Smite Warrior and your Shiv. You can go GA. If you feel you're ahead, and just GA just kind of secures the win, or if you need a bit more damage, I'm not sure why, because this build does so much already. We can go Deadman's. If they're like a full AD team, they don't really have much AP, and you just want to be a bit tankier when you go in, and of course it complements. So that is the build. So Tiamat, Red Smite, Boots, Tarbis or Merc Treads. Again, as I said before, we have that Wonder and Mastery, which gives more movement speed out of combat. The mobilities aren't unnecessary anymore. Awesome. So you'll see here, these 2 games on Shaco, we built Tarbis, this game we built Merc Treads. Yeah? So we don't need, mobility boosts aren't necessitated, because we have that Wander and Mastery, which get a bit tankier. And as you see here, we have Tarbis and Deadmans, because we were against a Cogmore, who else were we against? We'll have a look here, obviously. We were against a Graves as well, and a Gnar. Okay, so that's like the ideal kind of situation where you want to build Deadmans over GA, but GA doesn't really give you any tank. It gives you a bit of armor, but Deadmans just means when we run into Cogmore and we hit him with our passive, we're going to sustain his initial burst and whoever else is LeBlanc because we have a bit of health, but it still gives us a bit of damage. Helps with our Q proc, our passive proc. If you guys did enjoy this first episode, as I said, this is a big package type thing, so I've really gone into depth in the runes and masteries. You guys should strategize for the early game here. But what I'm going to look at after this is little tips and tricks on Shaco, how to use your Q effectively, basically just how to take over again, best way to play him, what to max first, all this stuff, and many other things that I'll probably think of more by the time we do that. But we will upload the next installment, guys, tomorrow. Okay, so we'll upload this one tonight and the next one tomorrow. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We upload stream highlights pretty much every day if we stream the night before. And yeah, we try to be, as I've said before, in many a video, we try to be as informative as we can, and hopefully this is a good illustration of that. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave your comment. Okay, if you guys want me doing a bruiser Shaco guide as well, let me know in the comment section. What did you enjoy about the video? Any opinions? Let me know on masteries, little intricacies that you guys think I didn't include, or let me know. Alright, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the first installment, and get ready for the next one.